Hello everyone. I like to introduce myself. My name is Krishna, and I am now performing a live demo session which is to be submitted for this internship batch, which was started on 24th, and then the real live sessions which are started off by 2nd September. And for the demo submission for the first week, I like to start the session. The session is okay, going to okay. We just started off from a SpringBoot application, and we we did download a zip file, like a initial setup for this project, and just downloaded from the SpringBoot application or web page, and we download a zip file and then saved it. I saved it in my local disk and gave a folder. And also CTWS, which then I extracted, and then I downloaded an IDE, and of course the the, the presentation was done on another IDE, but I did through Eclipse, and then I like initiated a new file called demo, and then I then expanded all the things like SRC main Java and then like subsidiaries, and then I gave two parts of that execution, which is namely one was add control Java file, and then one was add request, and then comes the SRC main resources in which we could initiate or we could just develop the index page what should be shown on the localhost where we like deploy or just execute the code and and then give the application properties where we should deploy or just initiate or just give the port number where it should be displayed, which we could use when we have to see the output, which could be run through a localhost. And then, and first of all, this was executed through a maven tool, and there comes all the dependencies used for that. It is embedded through in this code and the other things, subsidiaries. And here comes the first part, which is control. Where we have to give first of all give the package and the name of the Spring framework for Postman, and the rest of all the codes too. And these all Rust controlled under a request mapping all comes about the commands used for this execution. It is like an added property, and then comes the public class add controller, and then the public int add request body add request, and this like an alternative way for execution. There isn't a only primary method to use like this code for this. Actually, this is one of the way, and then to what to print, that is where the system.out.println incoming values are. You have to specify the request, and then just to display what to display will be like inputted in the double brackets, and then the plus request, which is for the passing values, and then we should initiate a sum where we could give a request first number, and then the request is like through which we do this execution, and then request dot number. Then we give system.out.println to display the sum that we just calculated and return the sum. And there comes the other code, which is the add request. Add request is like a this is requesting all the numbers, or like these all are both connected. Actually, this program is mainly of two parts. It is request and response. This is request phase, and that and control is the response, through which we get the initial functioning, or like the final output. And in this, we like declare a package. And through package, we have necessary steps for the, like, if redundant, add new package and all. We could just specify the package bit, and through which this is the just the same way which I did for initializing this package. So it's so there isn't a need. And for this Java file to be imported, we could just do like add Java project. We need to give Java. We can we could give class. Okay, through which we can specify the next thing like Java also. And then comes same add request also of games, and in that too also could create a file just like that. We could specify both add controller and also add request Java, and in both cases the program should be clear, or else it won't give a specified output. And so this is public class add request. It's initialized like private numbers for both num1 and num2, and then we have to like initiate get num. Yeah, actually we are giving get num1 as in add controller, so it should be reflected as same as here. So it is initialized as get num1, and then return the number 1. Same for the next number also. And then we are like giving a void function, as void doesn't return any value. It is like specifying a public void set num. There's a int num which we pass, and then we are specifying by this keyword this dot number. And same for the next number also. And this is all the function that you do in the add request Java, and this is the problem. And first of all, for us to do our responsibilities or the functioning, therefore we have to go to the application name, right click, and go to run as, and go for Maven build. And then if like previous projects are undergone, or previous any type of work is done or left, we could just clean it by clean. It will take some time, but still it's shown as build success. And then we have to give like an event build as package. There might be simple errors where if we specify the names of package, and if the package here it is specified here, the names are not correct, to give some failure, but no, it is only. And now for the final execution, we should give another keyword, which is mainly string, string takes time to run the code. team shown that listening its rate 5 is not free, so we should, like an alternative, we should go to this application properties and then just change what and then save it and then again run it just like the same way as before. So, my mistake. Okay, it's done. And here it is specified that is Tomcats around port 8086, and then we just pass the index HTML just to like, check whether it reflects the same. So I have to check whether it's working on localhost. So 8086 working with that. It's not like that. I need to just check in our browser. It's taking time. Okay, here it is. So we could just conclude that it shows the same. And now we have to go to the Postman to reflect the program output to get the numbers like to use that program. So just log in to the account that you create, or you can log in through Google. So after login, you can just go to this collection and just take on your collection and just create a whole drive. Create it just like the same that our tutor gave the name. I give it September 24 CT. Then you have the commands and you have to, it will be at get, and you have to change it to post, and then you have to change the number as per our need, and then give this command, and you have to select this body and then this row to give this row program, we are giving this form and then send. Come on, it is a 5 plus 50. This and 5 is working. So now we can conclude that it was a successful application that we just created. So that's all about the Spring Boot application, and then we could just move on to other theoretical part. And there comes this agile methodology, and then Jira, where we can do like a collaboration kind of thing for this project. And first of all, part we should keep in mind is that agile software development methodology. It is like an E2, like an end-to-end encrypted methodology where the credibility will be ensured and the important data or anything won't be like there won't be a leakage of information or like credibility will be restored. It will be always reliable, and also it is like a time box based iterative approach of software development. It's like a given specific time where we should complete the project. It is like a even higher priority, the time span. And the major part of it is like based on the client requirements. What the client says, we should like reflect or we should give execution. And that for steps for the client execution, it will be so not only here. And then it will be first of all understanding the requirement, and then we have to design a solution and then develop the program and then test it by unit testing, and then QA we have to pass it to the quality assurance team. They will test and then check the performance of it, and then we have to like what I mentioned earlier, the credibility, the security of it. We should be like we should be well aware of it vulnerabilities, and then demo it to the client and then deploy the version. That's the steps taken for this. And then implementing in agile, it will be scrum based method or model. And for this executions to happen, there will be certain members in that team, or the members will be product owner, team member, it will be DL, FLQA, everyone, any member who should be like reliable or who should be there for this for this deployment of the project is there, and then the scrum master. So the product owner, the person like the major guy for the mediator role for this project execution, he will interact with the client and business guys, the client or the business dealers, and gives the information to team. It's like the major like the person who retrieves all the information or like gives supplies for everyone for what to do or what to where to begin listening, and then he goes to user stories coming, and then the product backlog, that's like a certain list where the prioritized requirement like a bugs feature where which side of the deployment we should give more focus. It will be prioritized that list, and then the sprint is the time frame where we should finish the job, which is given to each and every person. And then comes the user story. User story is where like the story, like any story where we could get all the picture, all the idea of what the person in the story to give. Just like that user stories where all the requirements the client will get, or what he will get all the information from what where he should begin and where he should end the execution. It is like a map book for a person who is implementing the code, and then you should type. It will be mostly just like that the storyteller. uh, we should get all the inputs right. So the user story will be a primary functionality in the issue type, and then the task and the bug. And the task we should do, task we should be prioritize, the task we should be indulge in every day to give out the best output. And the bugs we find out in the deployment or the execution will be should also should be given much priority. And most importantly, that's the thing. PO explains requirements to tech team. PO is the guy who gives every knowledge about what he should do and what the output should be. And so he is the guy for the job. And then there should be, first of all, the just like any other project, there will be a deadline. So there will be expected estimation for the time duration for the project to be done, and then internal discussions and internal meetings and internal audit. Everything will happen because we should uh, we should first of all have a basic understanding of what should we do and where should we begin. And that's also, first of all, there is no one person job. It's always connected to everyone. So that's the thing regarding that, like planning phase. And then comes the version control system kit, where we would give a basic idea regarding the branching, like master branch, what happens to master branch, and then to integration branch, and then feature branch. So first of all, the master branch will be there, and then it will be cut to an, like it will be transferred to integration branch, and then to feature branch. Feature branch, it will be like there will be a primary feature, and there will be subsidiary in some more other features. So there will be one or two or three or four, any number, not specific number of feature. It will be only based on applying necessity. So that's the thing regarding that branching. Master branch will be there, and then it will be cut on to integration branch, and then there will be divided to feature branch. So Git is where we manage our code, and then there is one thing. Jira is also Jira is also a place where we could like project management. It's mainly like of a GitHub, where it would be like if a project is deployed, a project is assigned, there will be so many information which is to be divided to each and every member. So it will be very tedious start to give each and every information to each individual, and then asking them the information, or yeah, or approaching them and then asking for information. So it is very hard. So they found out a much better way. It's through there, and then there we could just give like. We could create a repository just like what PO, the person PO will have the access to this. Actually, he's the main guy who provides all the necessities. So the PO will have access to this Terra site, and he will give us all the information. Just, and first of all, there is like a git commands to be known for working in local machine. For a git, you have to first of all create a local folder, and then create a git clone, and then we have to git add it just like the commands. We have to git add and then commit and then push and pull. And this is the login page for the okay. So this is the login for me. So I create an account, and then this is like that there and board, and the PO, a person who like gives all the tasks. He will just give all the tasks to be done here, and then we will chart everything, and then it will be rearranged according to the completion to do in progress and done. Will be time loading and here is code. These all are all the specific sections to be implemented, so it will be split on to different departments. Okay, this is the code. Run the Scrum process, which is child created back. Clearly, I am there. Like I have to assign more people. So, in a professional point of view, a PO will just create a project and then assign to each and every individual who is a part of the team. And like, this is the sprint cycle. This is the first sprint, and he could give a task, and we should still like, the very objectives. He could give like this, and then he could give it, and then he could start sprint. Could give the duration. Look, is reflected in this to-do list. Just like that. We could give anything in every sprint. So it could give another sprint, and then if any sprint is left long or any task is yet to be completed or any task is lagging from the expected time duration, could give it as a backlog, and then when to create issue there, it will be like sprint code execution. Okay, this is one. So I could just focus. Okay, one. So just drafting. Okay. So it will just add on to this like that. It is to do and it is in progress. So this is like a chart or timetable or like the in progress or the team's progress where a PO can track the team's progress. You could just track the project that is started and you could just find each and every individual's participation and each and every individual's contribution. That is Jira. Moving on to other, just reflect that timeline and the goals. We could set the goals that we need to accomplish, and we could also add our own views for the team's optimum perfection. And that's all for first demo. Thank you for thank you for each and every person who watched this demo. Thank you for your patience.